once again to another round of W2W Racing. My name is Ross Sterling and I will be taking you through round 7 of the Wheel2Wheel Racing League at Canada, at Montreal. Amazing to think we're only a third of the through the season already. It has went very quickly. However, we do have a lovely race coming up for you in just a moment's time. It will be a very exciting race, similar to Monaco, very tight, but at the same time very good track for overtaking. It's one of my personal favourites, and I am pretty sure it'll be the same for the drivers. Well, without further ado, with 8 minutes to go, we'll actually go straight into the track guide, and that'll be hosted by I believe it's Lance Stroll. So let's have a look at that.
Going down the main straight, quite bumpy under braking to corner 1. You kind of barrel into turn 1, get the car stopped, hooked up for turn 2. Got to focus on a good exit out of turn 2. Into turn 3 and 4, you're riding the curbs. It's quite bumpy through that section, but you got to be committed. Hard braking over the curb. Got to get a good exit out of turn 7, and heading to the next chicane. Up the box, hard braking, ride the curbs, and back on the pedal. Here's a pretty special corner. We're approaching the hairpin. You got to be hard on the brakes there. It's very easy to lock up the front right, and it's important to get a good exit for the long back straight. DRS open, approaching speeds of 350 kilometers an hour. Spotting the braking zone for the famous Wall of Champions chicane. Ride the curbs and over the start-finish line. That is a lap around Montreal.
Great stuff there from our Canadian. Now, I will like to just make you guys aware, just an off chance. I have had a couple of issues over the weekend with my stream, having a similar issue to what I had in Spain, where my connection started getting a little bit shaky. Unfortunately for us, it looks like it's fine for the time being, but I just wanted to say in advance, just in the off chance something does play up. Again, I will apologise in advance, and off chance it does, I will try my best, like in Spain, to try and at least get part of a stream if it comes to it. But I would like to be confident in the fact that that won't be the case for today. It's looking good so far. Let's hope it keeps up this way. Anyway, enough about me in the stream. It's about the drivers today. After Monaco's race, a very chaotic race where only 10 drivers survived, we have a interesting championship standings heading into round 7, where we have Nick still in front with 93 points, with Shadi with that second place only 7 points behind. We have to mention as well for Nick, with his 4th position, he did start from the back of the grid in Monaco, a very impressive effort. Silvers has went down to 3rd, a bit of a unfortunate form in Azerbaijan, and Monaco has dropped him down to 3rd, but he surely should be a shout for the Canadian Grand Prix. As well as that, it should be real. 4th place after his dominant win in Monaco. The only person to have 2 wins so far this season, followed by Hickster, who got a solid 3rd place for himself with 56 points. The top 5 covered with 37 points. Alongside that, constructors, we have Mercedes still in the lead, the 2 Germans of Shadi and Silvers dominating, followed by Red Bull with 105, McLaren with Real more or less carrying that team to third position. But I will say hats off to Boothie for getting his first points of the season in Monaco. We have Toro Rosso and Williams not far behind in McLaren for third place, only 3 points separating these three teams, so we will have a look at that come the end of the Canadian Grand Prix. Going through our championship standings, we have our ones to watch. As always, I pick 3 drivers I will be keeping my eye on today and telling you to keep an eye on yourself. First of all, I'm going to recycle exactly what I did last time. For Monaco, I'm bringing back, no, that's the wrong one. I'm bringing back 2 steps. He was away at Monaco, so I'm keeping him here for Canada because he is still one to watch. So, as I probably said before, he got a 7th in Spain and an 8th in Azerbaijan. First back-to-back point finishes. He did miss Monaco, obviously. He is currently placed 14th in the standings. I believe that was correct. Let me double check that. Yes, he is 14th in the standings, even with not starting the race. His consistency in races is getting him the points. Now, he's not a strong starter, not a strong qualifier, but as I say, his pace is good enough for him to get in the points, and I possibly see him in the points again. He believes as well, looking at our Discord channel, that he can be picking up some points from some first lap incidents. Secondly, we have Shadi in the Mercedes, third in the driver's standings, with 4 podiums in 6 races, which is 1 win and 3 seconds. His other 2 races were a 7th place in Australia and a DNF in Azerbaijan, and he was the only person not to be lapped by Real at Monaco. It doesn't sound particularly spectacular for a ones to watch in a sense, but that goes to show how dominant Real's win was in Monaco. And speaking about Real, I keep on calling him Real, it's Real. Speaking about Real, he's another one for a ones to watch. As I said, dominated in Monaco, literally pole position, fastest lap and the race win. If it wasn't for the fact that we didn't do practices, he would have had what they call the perfect weekend. Currently 4th in the standings, obviously due to a couple of races he's had to miss due to work commitments. But if he keeps this pace up, he has a chance at chasing Nick for the title. And from what I am aware, he is the fastest in the time trials for Canada currently, and he will be a force to reckon with within today's qualifying and in the race. Now, the drivers are only minutes away from jumping into the race. Let's actually have a look to see if we're ready up or not. We have 16 drivers, so a little bit of a better turnout this time compared to let's have a look. Yes, compared to Monaco, which is always a nice thing to see. That looked a little bit not good. I'm going to assume that wasn't me. My connection isn't working. It's working now. Anyway, I am gonna just stop babbling. We are only minutes away. We've got 17 drivers. We've got more people joining. The more the better. It has been quite short in numbers, I have to admit, for the last couple of races. Again, not through no fault of his own. People have the work commitments at the end of the day. Having the job, having money is much more important than playing F1, but it's always nice to see these drivers come in ready to kick some ass. So it looks like we are just waiting on a couple of drivers. I believe we're waiting on EME to pick a car for himself. I believe that will Hammond's here. I believe he will be must have been a new reserve that I'm not aware of. I've started giving up finding out who is not here or who is going to be reserved, because I do not find out until I'm actually streaming. So that's going to be a nice little surprise for me and you together as the viewer. Without further ado, actually, we'll get ourselves in a little bit into today's particular race now, this is going to be a very interesting qualifying predicament. This track is kind of bordering 50-50 with 2 stops to 1 stop strategy. The 2 stops will probably be most likely used for the top 10 softs into mediums, but anyone outside the top 10 might want to gamble for going on the medium tyres and possibly making it to the end on the hard tyres. Now, the tyre life for today's race, according to the F1 game, the soft tyres will last 13 laps, mediums 20 laps and hards 25 laps. Now, with 35 laps on the table, mediums to hards is very much an easy case. You could possibly go on to medium softs as well, but that's a very big gamble and I wouldn't highly recommend it. But softs, mediums to mediums seems like the fastest strategy here. Again, for a short track, for a fast track, you always want to have as much grip as you can, so you don't want to be in a position where you are going slow. And again, with the hard tyres obviously being the slower compound of tyres, with a massive tyre delta, I should actually just jump into that. So the soft to medium difference is 0.4 of a second, which doesn't sound too bad around this track, but soft to hard is 1.3 seconds, so anyone on a 1 stop might be struggling come the end of the race pace wise for the faster 2 stop drivers. And again, with the pit lane very short, I think the shortest pit lane of the pit lane time of the season, as it does cut through turn 1 and exits out of turn 2, and misses the end of turn 14, missing the Wall of Champions. This is a hard track to try and gain time, especially for an undercut will be very, very strong here, and expect a lot of people gaining a lot of places come at the end of the first stint. So we are still waiting on a couple of people by the look of it. We are 4 minutes late. I don't think there has been any news. Let me check on the Discord. I see what it is. So apparently the person I thought was a reserve was actually just a randomer who's managed to join, and we have to restart the lobby due to issues with the lobby options. So that is why there is a delay. Apparently a lobby is getting created and hence drivers are slowly starting to trickle out. I'm just currently waiting on everything to get set up to then join. So a short delay. It should not be too long until the race starts, possibly an extra 1 or 2 minutes. I'll try and leave when I can. There we go. And see if I can join. And there we go, that's everyone starting to trickle in just a bit. We have 14 drivers currently. So I believe we're waiting on a couple more drivers and then we're back into this. slowly but surely we are making there. Once again, I do apologise about the delay. Obviously something has occurred and it is currently getting sorted, and I do thank you for your patience while you watch the stream. It should not be too long until this race starts. So it looks like drivers are slowly starting to get themselves ready. We do have, by the look of it, 17 drivers. Like I said, it's a very nice turnout, considering Monaco had quite a low turnout. So obviously more drivers equals more entertaining racing. And again, Canada is always a perfect combination for overtakes, especially with not one, not two, but 3 DRS zones. Now, drivers will tend to want to stick to a low profile downforce setup, especially for the long back straight. As much as there is corners, you'll gain more time on the straights than you will do on the corners, and especially with DRS, you want to make sure that your car is basically a rocket ship coming down the third sector. As it looks like the session will start in less than 30 seconds. Once again, I do thank you for your patience. We will hopefully get some entertaining racing to compensate the short delay that we have had. So as the drivers start to load themselves in, we'll have a look to see what the weather is going to be like. Now, it tends to be, especially in North America, hot, dry and sunny, but never can be guaranteed that we will get hot weather, or dry weather I should say. You can maybe see some rain around Canada. Again, thinking back to 2014 when Jenson Button won that very dramatic race, but it looks like it is a dry qualifying session, which possibly obviously means a dry race. So as always, we put the telemetry up. We'll have a wee gander to see who is going to be fitting what tyres. A couple of people already opting for the hard compound of tyres and the medium compound of tyres for their outlaps. And we'll see who is going to be the first driver to head out. It doesn't look like it will be too long. We do actually see a Ferrari starting to head out, as well as a Red Bull, but it looks like they're going to be beaten by a McLaren, and I believe that will be of real or possible race favourites for today. He is on the hard compound of tyres. He is followed by the Williams, I believe, of Ken Worthington, also on the hard tyres. He unfortunately lost his race running streak. No, it was actually Jaime, I do apologise. But yes, Ken lost his race running streak on Monaco, unfortunately. So that means after 6 rounds, only 2 people have scored points in every race so far this season. That has been championship leader Nick and 5th place in the Drivers' Championship, Hickster. So hopefully they can both can carry on their continued run, because it has been very impressive from these two drivers. But we will have a look at Wheel. We'll actually go on board with him as he is ready to start his flying lap on the hard tyres. Very good exit out of the chicane, and as we see, yellow flag as Jaime is out already. Let's see if we can see anything about this. Yellow flag into the chicane. Is this a Wall of Champions incident? Yes, it is. Jaime is the first to be claimed by the Wall of Champions. That is so unfortunate for Jaime, so he will be starting from the back of the grid, minus any disqualifications from today's qualifying session. Now Rio posts a 19.6 on the hard tyre. Who is next up to put a sector time in? Silvers is next, I think. Silvers on the medium tyres, 19.6 is the time, 19.8. So he is slower than Rio in the first sector. Sector 2 about to be finished, 41.5 for Rio as he enters the long hairpin. Heading out of turn 12, which isn't really a corner. Actually, that's one coming up. As we see another yellow flag, sector 2. Now this is a tight circuit, so we probably will see a lot of yellow flags for traffic, but as we just ignore that for a second, Real looks like he will cross the line with a 1 minute nil. I was going to say 1 minute 10. It's a 1 minute 9.8 on the hard tyre. The yellow flag heading out, but that's Jai G. 109.2 on the soft tyre. Steph Farrell 111.3 in the hard tyre as well, so that shows how fast Real is going, only 6 tenths behind Jai G on a compounded tyre, 2 times slower. Nick with a 109.4 behind Jai G on the soft tyres as Silvers leaves the session. Possible disconnection, unfortunately for him. He will be back at some point, I would imagine. We see EME put himself up into 4th position. He was very impressive in Monaco, grabbing himself his first points of the season. I expect him to be racing very well again. As we see another randomer by the look of it join, which is not going very well here. If this is the case, if this is random, I'm not entirely sure if it is. Again, I do not know if this is a reserve or not. Again, I do not get told these things, but it might be a restart lobby if this is a random error. I do not know how they are crawling in today. Again, it's Cloudmasters, they might be absolute garbage. But anyway, we are getting digressing a lot. We have Boas Noise putting himself up into 5th position with the 109. Luck Taps sneaks himself up into 3rd in the mediums with the 109.5. 2 steps in the Force India, 11.0 flat on the soft tyres. We have Hixer starting the lap, we have Lira on sector 2, Archer sector 3, is this randomer does leave us finally. Schwalb, who might be a good contender for tonight's race. Actually, we will go on board with him as he goes on the back straight on the hard tyres as well. From the discussions in the Tier 1 Discord, he has been a close challenger for Rio, and again he was as well in Monaco, with only half a tenth separating these two drivers in qualifying. So Schwab actually looks like he had a lap invalidated on his hard tyres and will start another lap again, so we will ignore that. Silvers finally does join us as we see Luck Taps is heading into the pits. Reels on an outlap on the soft tyres, so that's going to be very interesting to see how quick his pace is. We have Hixner right coming across the line. The hard tyres chosen for him, 7th place that is with 10.8. So the fastest, the second fastest of the hard tyre runners. A second difference between Wheel and Hixner is very, very strong. Again, once again showing Wheel's dominance around here, potentially for pace wise. Let's have a look to see if anyone else is actually on a lap. Archer's coming out, Mandrop's on an out lap, Schwalb is on another lap. Let's see if this is validated this time. That's a 1:12.6, but once again invalidated. So this might be just practice laps. Again, it is the hard tyres, there is 11 minutes to go. He has plenty of time to put a lap in. But that's possibly a confidence denter. Potentially maybe make him think about a certain corner to make sure he's getting it right. So Mads Tron looks like he will be the next of the fast lappers unless Wheel has got ahead of him and actually right behind the Red Bull of Mads Tron. So we'll stay on board with Mads Tron first. The yellow flag sector 2 is actually coming right in front of us at turn 8 and 9, so it looks like someone has went wide or missed the corner. Hopefully they do not impact the lap time of Mazda-trons. We see another yellow flag sector 1. So I wonder if this is helping Wheel at all, being right behind Mazda-tron. He will actually get a good amount of slipstream here, so that's only going to help Riel's case for this pole position for tonight's race. Mazda-tron will have a look to see where he ends up. It looks like a good time. It is 5th with a 109.6. Riel, how does he get on? He's actually had an invalidated lap. Okay, so he's actually missed out on the chances, maybe compromised the best use of these tyres. Schwal puts himself up into a 4th of 109.5 on the hard tyres, 2-lap old hard tyres that is as well, so 3/10 faster than Riel. He is now fighting Riel for pole position. The gauntlet has been shown, yellow flag sector 3. Let's have a look at some of the drivers who have not put a lap in yet. We have Lira in sector 2. Archer is about to cross the line. Let's see where he goes. He goes 9th of 109.9 on the soft tyres. We have Mandrop up into 8th with a 109 as well. Bosno has actually put himself up into 109.5 on the medium tyres. That's a disqualification for Steph Farrell there for just sitting right in front of the pit exit there, so it was a very strange one. That might work out on Jaime's favour at will. So Jaime will be starting 17th, not 18th. Anyway, Lira, let's have a look to see where his lap time will be. Is Silver's anywhere? Yes, he's sector 2, he'll be the next one to see. And that is the fastest lap for Lira. 109.1 on the soft tyres. A great lap for the Renault driver. He's had a little bit of a bad luck since joining from Tier 2. He was championship leader at the time of Tier 2, but yet to score a point here in Tier 1, and hopefully he will get himself points, fingers crossed. We have Nick actually being the first person to drop into the 108s with the soft tyres, 108.8. Sorry, we are missing what Silvers is doing. And that is a 109.5 in the medium tyres. The medium tyres looks like they're doing very well so far. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th all on the medium tyres. Now that's fitted, not best. So it's 4th, 5th and 6th actually on the medium tyres. Not too much of a difference between them and the soft tyre runners, really. Let's have a look who else is needing to put a lap in. We have Ken on an out lap. We have Shari still in the garage. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3. It looks like Startcam is going to be making an appearance at the Wall of Champions and at the pit exit, so I think this is becoming the running theme with the Startcam, where we have to find a sponsor for it. So let us know what the sponsor is for this Startcam. So JG on a lap, he is on the medium tyres, which are, his best was on the soft, so he thinks he can go faster than he did on the soft tyres. It's not the case, as he is 2/10 down after sector 1. Who else is on a lap? Silvers is on an in lap. We have Rio, Mandrop, Archer, Schwab, Hickster all in out laps. Shari still in the pits. Kem Worthington about to start a lap for himself. So it looks like G will be the next person to cross the line, but he is backed off already 0.8 of a second at sector 2 behind. So it looks like he has possibly given up in this lap, maybe going for another lap. We'll have to find out while he enters the pits or not. He is warming his tyres up, which does suggest that he will be doing one more lap. And yes, he does. So he will be starting his lap fairly soon. Schwab, he is 0.4 up already on the medium tyres, that is, as well. So he looks like he will be challenging Nick for this potential pole position. But we have Wheel actually in front of him. So we'll actually have a look at Wheel. 0.8 up, he is on the medium tyres as well. So Schwab, is he doing any better? There's been no sector time for him, so I do not know if he has had a lap invalidated or I've just missed his sector 2, but we'll find out. Ken Worthington puts himself up into 8th with 109.6. Wheel gets a really good run out of that chicane, crosses the line doing what time? A 108.4, 4 tenths faster on the slow compounded tyre compared to Nick and Schwab. Only 200ths of a second difference between first and second, both on the medium tyres. They can go faster on these softs if they do want it. The question is it pole position over strategy? We'll have to find out with 5 minutes to go. There can potentially be one more run for these two drivers. Cracking laps for these two guys, and again for Nick as well, to try and be in close proximity to these drivers. We have a couple of people in the pits. We have Hickster coming in an in lap, Ken on an in lap, Madsatron on an out lap. He's slower than sector 1 just, so we'll keep an eye on him for just a second. EME is going half a tenth faster in sector 1. He is in front of Madsatron, so we will be on board with EME come this lap, then Madsatron at the end. So EME, does he go faster into sector 2? Yes, he does, half a second faster. So this is a potential low 109 for EME if he can continue this form and possibly get himself into the top 10 of this qualifying session. 4 minutes to go as we see EME enter turn 13 and 14, the lovely chicane heading into the Wall of Champions. Very what feels like conservative entry into the chicane, but works well enough, and it's a 109.3, so he does improve, but only 2:14, so that was actually an invalid lap time as Masterstone enters the pits. So that was a potential 109.3, so that would have put him up into 7th if it wasn't for that mistake. He's got 3 minutes. He needs to kind of speed up if he wants to have another run here. But he does have plenty of time now. The outlap obviously is very short here, so you don't have to come in straight away. 3 minutes to go. We might see a lot of these drivers not appear until less than 2 minutes. You don't want to leave it too late, especially with the amount of traffic which might appear come the end of the lap. As we actually see a couple of drivers heading out, so that's Mansatron heading out, and it looks like there is some movement from the pit garage of what looks like Nick. Yes, it was correct there. So we have Lira on an outlap, we have Mazdaston on an outlap. 2 steps, is he on an outlap or in-lap? So he is on an in-lap, and by the looks of it, if he is not made it to the pits, I highly doubt he will get another lap in, so it might be a 15th place for 2 steps. But again, qualifying is not his specialty, it is in the race, so expect him to maybe climb up into the top 10 come the end of the race. So already we're seeing yellow flag sector 1, traffic trying to sort itself out. Hopefully no wing damage, or there has been any damage or crashes at all for any of these drivers. Still a lot of people in the pits with 1 minute 40 to go. But it looks like Lira might be the first person to put a lap time in. Yes, it's Lira from Mansatron from, believe, Nick. So Lira will be the first person to cross the line. 1 minute 30 to go. Does he have anyone coming out of the pits which might hinder his lap time? The answer is just about no. We did have a Ferrari head out there. Hickster retires from the session. So I do not know what's happened to him, but it looks like it's not worked out for Hickster, so he can do no better than 9th place, so he might go get a little bit worse here. Anyway, I can't speak. Where am I? I'm going to find Lira. There we go. So it looked like there as well there was some traffic issues. Less than a minute to go. We're on board with Lira on the nose cone. Let's see if he improves his time. Yes, he does. 3/10 up after sector 2. Can he get himself into the 108s and possibly challenge for a front row position against the Mighty Wheel and the Slick Schwalbe? So let's see his entrance into the chicane. It looked like he did catch a lot of the curb there. I don't know if that was legal or not. Classed as legal, yes it did, and it's 108.8 for Lira. Mazdatron put himself up into a 109.3 7th place. Who is next? Nick is up 0.2 of a second after sector 1. I think he will be the next person to put a lap time in, if I'm not mistaken, but he is slow. Sector 2 as the checker flag comes out. Who is next? I think there was someone on the back straight. It was Archer. Archer has slowed down, so he has given up on his time. Who is next? I think that's a Mercedes of Shari, followed by his teammate Silvers. Yes, it is. So Shari put only his first time in today, and that's an 8th place for him on the medium tyres with 109.3. Silvers does not improve his time. So anyway, Lira and Schwalbe, let's see how the two drivers are getting on. Unfortunately, I do not know if they are improving their times or not. EME is not improving. Mazdatron will not improve. I don't think Lira has already done the lap time. Schwalbe enters the pits and so does Real. So Real claims another pole position, only just once again by a very good Schwalbe in the Ferrari. So hopefully this does mean a very good race for these drivers. We just await EME to enter the pit lane and sort himself out. Now I will have to back out just for a minute. I am currently needing to get my OBS just to work perfect for me. Long story short, I'll digress very quickly. I use the remote control feature on my phone and it's just decided to die on me when I kind of needed it most. There we go. Right, so we're back into the race. I do apologise for that little second, but you haven't missed much anyway because everyone has finished the qualifying session. So official qualifying results come up. We have Wheel taking the pole position once again from Schwalbe. Lira 3rd, Nick 4th, JG with another good qualifying session up in 5th, Luktat 6th, Mazdatron 7th, Shadi 8th, Silvers 9th. Not particularly great for the Mercedes crew, but they are both on the medium tyres. Bosnoy is putting himself up into 10th, Hickster 11th, Archer 12th, Ken is 13th, Mandrop 14th, Amy 15th, 16th is 2 steps, and Jaime will be 17th with no time after crashing out the World Champions, and Steph Farrell unfortunately did get disqualified and will be starting last in this Grand Prix. So a very overcast day at for race day, at least in Canada, at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. The drivers are starting to ready up with less than 30 seconds to go. We will be jumping into the formation lap. As always, we instantly check this as if there is a formation lap. Unfortunately, like Monaco, Let's hopefully see if we have amended that situation that we had last week. As always, we will check firstly the outside top 10, the tyres, and see what potential strategies these drivers outside the top 10 will be taking. As the formation lap begins now, let's have a look. So from the outside top 10, it looks like mediums for everyone bar Archer 12 and Two Steps in 16th. So they will be looking to try and overtake as much of these medium tyre runners as possible. But in saying that, it looks like the whole majority of the field have decided on the medium tyres, which does add a lot of flexibility to the strategy. They can potentially go on to a two-stop strategy with the mediums to softs, or they could do the one stop, which might be more likely considering the conservative nature of these medium tyres being used in qualifying. So a medium to hard strategy will be more likely actually than the two stops. So I've got my strategies quite wrong in that regard, but that makes it always more interesting. Again, we do not know if this cloud cover actually maybe means a spell of rain could come, but it looks like it will be a dry start nonetheless, and it could more likely be a dry race. With 35 laps to go though, anything can happen. So the drivers only a couple of seconds away from lining up in the grid. The AI starts to take over, their minds preparing for the start of this race, hopefully being more clean than the Spa lap 1 race. We actually do have a car which got disqualified, and that's the luck taps on the medium tyres. The medium tyres do heat up a little bit slower than soft tyre drivers around them, so Mazzatron will want to try and take advantage coming into lap 1 to try and get that 6th position. But the drivers have lined up. The race is about to go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Round 7, the Canadian Grand Prix of the W2W Tier 1 Championship is away, and it looks like Wheel has had a cracking start, but so has Schwab. But Wheel gets the whole shot coming into turn 1. 3 wide heading back there. It looks like it has been clean so far, but yellow flag sector 1 tells me otherwise. And yes, Mandrop has been hit, and he's been hit by Jaime actually, who's got a 5-second time penalty. Luck taps up into 4th. Apparently the disqualification from the formation lap has not impacted his tyres whatsoever. Yellow flag sector 2, Jai G has been possibly hit, and that's a very weird place to be hit from turn 5. So it's a broken front wing for him. EME also, I think, actually maybe being the culprit there. So anyway, going back, Wheel leads from Schwab. Bosnois puts himself up into 11th place. Let's get the leader thing. There we go. So yes, Wheel, Schwab, leader 3rd, Luck taps 4th. From Nick closely behind, we have Steph passing Hitstop. Let's see, have a look. Lap 1 looks like it's been very clean so far for these drivers. No contact to the wall of champions. Looks like Hickster does pit, so it has been some wing damage for himself. So we have had a couple of lap 1 incidents so far. EME picking up a 5-second pit lane penalty, which just adds insult to injury. But these two drivers are Rio and Schwab already gapping Lira. 2 seconds the gap between 1st and 3rd. And Lira is on the soft tyres as well. He should have the pace advantage. That's just showing how fast these two drivers are really going. Lap 3 will be the next lap. Obviously we get DRS, which will be very impactful possibly for Schwab to have a go for the lead. He's going very, very close heading into the hairpin. What a lovely camera angle for this. Yellow flag sector 1. Looks like EME has caught himself up again. Looks like, what do you think? Nick, is he anywhere close to Luck taps to maybe make a move? Not yet, but with this pace and the slipstream, he might have a crack next lap with the DRS. Now we have Shadi and Silvers close to each other. Schwab put the fastest lap of the race in. He is right behind Wheel. He really wants this win and the race lead. DRS is now enabled, so this will help overtaking, especially for Schwab, to be so much easier, especially on the back straight. Now we are entering the DRS zone, which is right on the sector 1 line, and we will be entering the DRS entry point as of now. Let's see if he can get close enough to do anything. That answer is no. Looks like Wheel has had a really good exit come that lap, but again, that DRS is not really too impactful. It's more the back end of the race. We might see a couple of passes further back, but we'll stay on board with Schwab actually. If we go on board with Schwab, can he do anything here? Is the DRS strong enough at lap 3 to make any difference? The answer is no. Maybe possibly conserving his tyres for the time being, but no pass for the lead so far. Anyone close enough? We have Silvers right behind Shadi. No team tactics by the looks of it for these two Mercedes drivers as of yet, but the DRS is not working out for Silvers. So I'm actually was expecting some passing to the DRS, but it looks like not to be the case. So we have 4 team drivers more or less close to each other. 4 drivers have entered the pits after lap 1, which has been very unfortunate. Hickster, he needs to get a move on if he wants to continue his race points streak, but he's not too far, only 5 places behind actually I was going to say Ken Worthington, but that was him passing Archer heading into turn 8, 9, and Archer not hitting the apex turn 9 and going very wide, and he's actually lost a lot of time to Ken. So we have the two, a little cheeky battle for a limb here between the two Silvers and two-step Steph Farrell, doing very well from the back of the grid, up to 12th already after 4 laps. Just to confirm, Schwab has not passed Wheel as well. The two Silvers side by side, great pass from Steph there. Can they make it stick? Of course they can, no doubt there whatsoever. They get the DRS as well, and that's 11th place. And Archer is the next to claim, but can Two Steps do anything about it? Now, he is always a good person to watch if you want to see a battle. And Boz Noise as well, they had a cracking battle in Azerbaijan alongside, I think it was EME. But we'll actually go further up for the time being. The two Red Bulls are quite close to each other. Nick has started slowing behind Luck Taps. Looks like the soft tyre runners are not having the best performance so far out of these tyres. The gap between first and third has doubled since last time we mentioned it, almost up to 4 seconds. If Luck Tap's not that far behind, is in DRS zone. And a possible overtake. We have a battle for 5th here. The Mercedes of Shadi is now jumping into the party. He is also on the medium tyres, so maybe the soft tyres are not working as well pace wise as they think, as actually I say that medium tyre runners of Lira and Nick already entered the pits after lap 6. Now surely they have to go into a 2-strut strategy. If I'm not mistaken, it's mediums for looks like Lira and for Nick as well. So yes, 2 stoppers for they two, as Locktaps puts in a 3-second time penalty. Archer also joins, I believe, from the soft tyres. So the soft tyres does not look like it was the right choice here. Shadi is all over the back of Mastertron already. And he has DRS as well to add insult to injury, and all he is doing is allowing Silvers to possibly catch up to Mastertron 2 and get himself another position. Again, these two drivers, 2nd and 3rd in the championship, they need to make some headway, especially with Nick already pitting. This is a really good opportunity to get some points against the championship leader, and potentially damage limitation to Wheel, who is still in the lead, only just from Schwab, who has still yet to pass Wheel, but it's not been too long. Both Mercedes passing Mastertron. What a move from Silvers, making it absolutely stick before the Wall of Champions and the chicane. We rate move up into 4th and 5th for the Mercedes pair. Schwab still right behind Wheel. We're going to have a look to see who was the big winners and losers of this start so far. Steph Farrell in 8th place, an absolute cracking drive from last place so far. We have to say well done to both Two Steps and Ken Worthington, up 6 places. The two Mercedes both up 4 places as well. So it has been a good start for a lot of the drivers. Obviously maybe taking advantage of the mistakes. Mads John picking up a 3-second time penalty, picking up on the mistakes of some drivers, plus the pit stops of drivers struggling on these soft tyres. So we might see Mazatron come into the pits at some point. Does Schwab do anything this time? Looks like Wheel was a little bit defensive coming at the end of the race. EME picks up a 3-second time penalty as Nick passes Lira up into 12th. So Wheel keeps his lead at lap 8 as Mazatron does pit from 6th place on these soft tyres. So that will put him possibly behind Lira in 13th. He does jump onto the medium tyres too, so it might be a 2-stop for Mazatron. So a lot of drivers on the soft tyres opting for the 2-stop strategy. This maybe allows the medium tyre runners to potentially go on the 1-stopper if they feel comfortable enough. It looks like so far Real has got a comfortable that's not the right word. He's feeling comfortable around Schwab. Yes, he is defending. It looks like Schwab is not putting the pressure on as much as he possibly could. Let's actually have a look. Is he using full ERS or so? He is not. That says it all. Schwab is not attacking, saving up his ERS. Only basically fuel saving in a sense. Trying to conserve the tyres, trying to conserve that ERS management, making sure he can fight. Lock taps in the pits and the medium tyres already. That's a very strange one. Possibly there could be something happening. Maybe the medium tyres are not working. It could be a 2-stopper. Not entirely sure, but that's a very strange call from the Ferrari driver. But nevertheless, Real and Schwab still heading away with it. 7.5 seconds is the gap. Schwab picks up a 3-second time penalty, and now that is major, as Nick does as well. But Real has not made any penalties, mistakes for penalties that I'm aware of, but no 3-second time penalty for Real as of yet. So that 3 seconds is huge between the battle for first position in this. And that potentially might be the difference between a first and a second for these two drivers. Jaime also joins the 3-second club. Now it looks like Shari is starting to gap Silvers a little bit. Lock taps after his pit stop on the medium tyres once again has passed Mandrop. It looks like he's actually, the overcut in that sense has worked, because he is miles ahead of Nick, 3 seconds to be exact. Going a little bit wide there is Mandrop. But it looks like the two Red Bulls and the Renault of Lira are having a little cheeky battle for 11th. They have not missed each other after the pits. Hickster in front of his teammate on the soft tyres. It looks like it'll be easy job done for Archer on the DRS. Team tactics obviously might come into play, making it an easy overtake. Of course, Hickster does not have any ERS on, making it as much easier as he can. Two Steps enters the pits. Lap 10, he and Hickster actually enters the pits as well. So further up, let's have a look. Looks like the main battle we obviously want to see is the battle for the lead, Real v Schwab. So Two Steps exits the pit lane in front of Jai G on 14th place. Hickster looks like will be 16th place. Jai G enters the 3-second time penalty club. Nick passes Mandrop actually for 9th place. As we see Schwab having a little look around the outside, Real getting very defensive, and this is giving Schwab the opportunity to have a look into turn 1 and make it stick. He's ahead of Real for the time being. Round the outside, he makes it stick, and that is Schwab up into first place for the first time in this Grand Prix. So the shoe is on the other foot. Can Real have a go back after the end of the lap against Schwab, as Schwab actually hits the wall. That's damaged his front wing. That's damaged his front wing. I can't believe that. After getting the lead, he goes and does that. He needs to go into the pits now. That's major damage. Not only is it going to be bad in the corners, that is going to be absolutely terrible on the straights. Now he can salvage this by going onto the hard tyres, making this a one-stopper if Wheel wants to go too, but Wheel has the pace now. He has the chance of winning this race. Schwab does have a 3-second time penalty as well, which does not work in his favour. It's just went bad to worse for Schwab after he takes the lead. Going further back, Lutap's is all over the back of Boas Noyes. Going into turn 10, can he do anything about it? Going round the outside, Boas Noyes not having anything done with that. Wheel picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that maybe works in Schwab's favour, as he does enter the pits for the new wing and new tyres, hard tyres, so he will be one stopping to the end of the race. That promotes Shari up into second and Ken up into third. So Lutap's up into sixth. We have Nick, who's passed Lira, and Mazatron have passed Mandrop. Schwab has actually lost time to Lutap's, so Lutap's has actually gained time. Granted, Schwab did have the front wing damage, but that's maybe worked out. Maybe the undercut here is stronger than you think. That's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting call for Wheel. Does he pit to make sure he can cover off Schwab? JG passes 2 steps up into 14th. Now the question is, does Wheel feel comfortable to try and one stop it and make it to the end? Because Schwab will be faster. Yellow flag sector 2, possibly an instant between, it looks like Mandrop and Mandrop going right down. So Real reacts. I don't know why I call him Real, because he's not Real Madrid, he's Real. So he does react here. He will be out well ahead of what would be second place now, Lutap's, as he actually gets passed by Schwab. So maybe some team tactics there. That's both Ferrari. I say that. Oh my days. Lutap's nearly having to swipe at Schwab there. That was a 2-for-1 move from Schwab. He is not giving this race up with that fight. Now the gap is 4 seconds, but Wheel does have a slight amount of traffic in Ken Worthington. But looks like Ken has got well out of his way there. Almost as if he was getting lapped. Boas Noyes enters the pits. So does Mandrop, who's possibly got front wing damage. So Shari enters the lead at lap 13. He surely should be pitting soon. So by the looks of it, it will be a 2-stop race, not a 1-stop race. So the gap between Wheel and Schwab is less than 4 seconds. Both drivers do have a 3-second time penalty to their names, so no advantage to anyone there. Lutap is not far behind Schwab. Now remember, there is a 9/10 of a difference gap as Shari enters the pits between the medium and hard tyres, as we see Nick pass Steph Farrell up into stick. So that is Ken Worthington also pitting. So we have Real and Schwab back up into first and second. 3.4 seconds the gap between Wheel and Schwab actually, so Schwab has gained a couple of tenths this lap, and he might be bringing Lutap's into it. Now again, Lutap's is on the faster tyre. That will die down obviously at some point. Now I'm thinking about it, Real and Schwab obviously do not have to pick in, neither does Shari. Now they will be on the one-stop strategy. Lutap's looks like he'll be the first person on the 2-stop strategy. So that has to maybe work in his favour. He might be fighting Shari for what could be a third position, so hopefully he needs to pick up the pace, use the DRS advantage he possibly has with his teammate. But I say that Schwab is closing up to Wheel, Lutap's is not. The gap is 1.5 between second and third. No DRS for Lutap's. That's unfortunate for him. Schwab is on a mission. He is wanting that lead once again. Hopefully he can do it. Now he did kind of sandbag, as we've seen, he was not using ERS when he was right behind Wheel. He does have the pace advantage, he can pass, we know he can do it, he needs to do it again. As Steph Farrell enters the pit, a really good run again from the back of the grid. By the looks of it, will be one stopping as well, so this might be some points on the board, and only their second race. We have Two Steps and JG still battling it out, and it looks like Two Steps has got the advantage with the DRS up into, I was going to say 12, but they've actually gained some places as Blues Nose actually enters the pits once again, so that has been some front wing damage for that Silver driver. So as one Silver driver is being successful, the other one is unfortunately not being successful. Just to confirm, Two Steps has fended off JG at the start finish line, and that's 11th place for the Racing Point driver. Now once again, I did say he is strong in the race. We have to see him hopefully climb up the grid a little bit more. He's only 2.2 seconds away from Ken and that potential championship points. The lead has kind of stabilised between Wheel and Schwab, 3.5 seconds, but they are both ditching luck taps by second a lap, and Nick is starting to make an appearance to luck taps, only less than a second. He is in DRS range. Hopefully by the end of the lap, in his case, Lira and Mastertron have a little bit of a battle. Looks like Mastertron had a look at lap 1. Lira did successfully defend that. He keeps his 5th position, entering 3 and 4. So it looks like Mastertron will have to try another attempt with DRS next lap. So we see Silvers in front of Shari. Silvers doing the 2-stop, and the other Mercedes of Shari doing the 1-stop strategy. So the two Mercedes pair both splitting on strategies. Archer in 9th, needing to pit again, 10 laps into his mediums, followed by closely by Ken Worthington, who's recently pitted, does not need to pit again. Two Steps not that far back. He has JG on his tail still, but he will need to pit 14 laps into these medium tyres. He's not got long left. Steph Farrell 13th, right on the hard tyres, completely missing the corner there. As Boaz Norris picks up a 3-second time penalty for himself. Hickster having a very quiet race, not really gaining. I think for him to get points, he possibly needs a couple of retirements / a safety car. Jaime again very quiet. Ken Worthington passes Archer as Archer gets a 3-second time penalty somewhere. So possibly, I'm going to assume, maybe missing the chicane. Now Two Steps still has JG all over the back of him, but it looks like another successful defence on the straights for Two Steps, holding JG back. Maybe the lack of grip in these tyres is not helping the Haas driver out. Heading back up the field, Nick is still less than a second, actually 6/10 to be exact, behind luck taps. Nick has an opportunity for DRS to be used. Obviously Nick on older tyres, which is even more surprising considering luck taps is on the fresher medium tyres. Maybe goes to show that Nick has the pure better pace than the 3rd place driver, but that Ferrari is going sideways trying to cut that slipstream. That does not help him at all. Nick has a look in the inside, thinks better of it, but now has another attempt coming into the start finish line. It does not look close enough for him to inch at turn 1, but it looks like it's Nick's 3rd place to take coming soon. Again, Wheel and Schwab still stabilised. I'm surprised about that. Schwab did look like he was catching for a couple of laps, but Wheel is retaliating, making sure that he can keep this lead. Now again, it could be very important for this if he does pick up another 3-second time penalty and Schwab does not. That cushion might help. JG finally passing Two Steps. I say that, Two Steps is still side by side with him. And does he make it stick? He is on the inside of turn 3 and makes it stick. Still that, JG having a little bit of goes sideways. The tyres are dying. But this is going the inside of sector 1. He has a look. Two Steps giving them the space. This is only inviting Steph on the fresher tyres here to have a look at passing both of these drivers. They have the DRS. So does JG though, try to go around the outside of Two Steps, makes it stick. Cracking move from the Haas driver. Now it is Steph to make sure they can get the job done up into 12th position. they will have DRS come the end of it, but so will Two Steps, and we already have seen how Two Steps can pass JG on the straights, possibly a lower downforce setting on his setup compared to the Haas driver. But can the Sauber of Steph capitalise on this by any chance? Not just yet is the answer. Now it looks like Lira and Mazatron are still battling it out. Lottaps and Nick has still stabilised at 7 tenths of a second, so it looks like Nick has not made any progress. Silvers is now starting to join the battle for 5th here, with less than a second covering these three drivers. EME, the first person to be lapped in this race. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3, and EME's at oh no, bad time man. So EME has crashed and left the session. It's gone bad to worse, and that's just bad timing on my part to have that controller disconnect, because we see Mazatron have a look at Lira, and this is only going to invite Silvers, who had the better exit, to possibly have a look. DRS is open for both 6th and 7th place. Silvers has double slipstream here. Does he have a look? Mazatron in the pits, so that's possible. 5 second speed in the pit lane time penalty for Mazatron. That is so unfortunate. Possibly racing a little bit too much to maybe stay ahead of Silvers for the time being. Yellow flag sector 3 showing. I can't see that whatsoever, so it looks like it's maybe cleared up. Someone's maybe went a little bit wide. So Silvers picks up a 3 second time penalty for himself. He's managed to gain a position up on to Mazatron. Now the next target for him is Lira. Lira's struggling on tyres already. JG 5 second penalty for speeding the pit lane. A lot of drivers enjoying that, picking up penalties there. It looks like an easy job for Silvers as he enters 5th position. JG retires from the session from the pit lane and also leaves. Not a good sign. That looks like a frustration for the Haas driver not going his way. I do not know if that's exactly the same for the Renault driver, but that is 16 drivers left. Now unfortunately that only is 1 place up for the likes of Hickster, Jaime Bosnois and Mandrop. That doesn't really get them too close to the pit stops. Now Nick enters the pits, Lira enters the pits, so it looks like these medium tyres can only last 14 laps. They will be most likely on the medium tyres come the end of this race. Now if that is the case, I would imagine these hard tyres will last 20 laps, so maybe these hard tyre runners will have to pit one more time, possibly onto the soft tyres. So we'll have to keep an eye out that at the end of the race here. I do imagine there'll be most likely a chance for soft tyres at the end of the race. Maybe someone wants to gamble it. Maybe someone like a Schwab would want to gamble, especially if Wheel either wants to stay out, or I think at the stage it'll be the case of do whatever Wheel doesn't do. He should have the pace to get past his teammate and Silvers. Really, but to be fair, they're guaranteed to have to pit at some point. So if he's guaranteed second, he surely is worth taking the punt for the soft tyres, at least maybe at its worst, getting himself that extra championship point for the fastest lap of the race. Now any other close battles while I have been babbling on, Mazatron and Lira still fighting out. Actually Mazatron going with an undercut over Lira on the hard tyres has managed to pass him, but Lira with the DRS and the better grip in these tyres has managed to pass Mazatron by picking up a 3 second time penalty for cutting the chicane. So that may be something of effect come the end of the race. Next up for Lira is Ken Worthington on the hard tyres. He will most likely need to pit again. I really do think now that these hard tyre runners will have to pit one more time. The person who's done the most laps is Jaime with 20. So I say that actually, an extra 10 laps for instance onto a wheel would take him to 32. Now is it worth maybe taking the extra 3 laps of risk? Maybe of, I don't know how bad Jaime's tyres are. He's entering lap 20. This is a really good indication, but yeah, his tyres are sliding very much. So it's going to be a bit of a risk to stay out, but if he's making it to 20 laps, the leaders and Shaddy, the leaders Shaddy and Kate Worthington all have a shot of making it to the end of the race. Nick puts the fastest lap of the race in 6th position on the fresh medium tyres. He's actually passed Ken Worthington. No, that's the wrong person I'm looking at. Lira has passed Ken Worthington on the straight. Nick done it a little while ago. His next target is Shaddy on the hard compounded tyres as we see two steps and Hickster enter the pits. Now Hickster was 12 lap olds hards, two steps mediums, so maybe some contact for Hickster there. Jaime enters pits with 20 laps, so again if we assume that these hard tyres will last 20 laps, the leaders will be 3 laps short. Now Shaddy, who's his tyres are 2 laps younger, has a better chance of making it to the end without having to pit. Now if that's the case, he is on a good contention as Hickster retires from the session and leaves as well, so it's not working out for people who are entering the pits apparently. So Shaddy has a good chance of securing this 3rd position if he makes sure he stays out. But we say that Nick is on a charge. If Nick obviously does not have to pit, he'll maybe actually be better off for this 3rd position. Less than 1.3 seconds a gap between 5th and 6th. Nick on the medium tyres, the faster compound tyres, and they are 7 laps younger. The gap between Wheel and Schwalbe is actually grown by a second actually. So it looks like Wheel has fended off the charge of Schwalbe. Again, if I was in Schwalbe's position, with a couple of, I would be maybe actually looking to jump on to the soft tyres and try and make a right good go of again getting that fastest lap or securing that 2nd place. With only 9 laps to go, I would be looking to do that within 2 to 3 laps. Question is though, well, there's a reason why I'm in the commentary box and not racing, and it's obviously not due to the fact that I have a silky voice, because that is entirely a lie. But yes, anyway, I digress. I'm talking about stuff that really doesn't mean anything to this race. Shaddy is now getting attacked by Nick. Nick has closed the gap to 5/10 of a second. We have seen Mazdatron pass Ken Worthington, now up into 8th. So Lira has gapped Mazdatron actually very quickly. Is Mazdatron actually side by side? I'm missing some good racing there. Side by side, Ken Worthington actually defends the place for Mazdatron outside turn 2. And ooh, there was contact there for a second. That was obviously not the case. It looked like that for a second. I do not know why. Anyway, Nick DRS does not work entering turn 8 and 9, but he is all over the back of the gearbox. Oh, Shaddy, he might go for a wee cheeky dive bomb into the hairpin. That is not the case. He knows better than that, surely, and obviously he's proved that. Now, can he get into 5th with a good overtake with the DRS? He's got onto the back of Shaddy very quickly. It should be an easy job. Round the outside of Shaddy. Can he make it stick? No is the answer. Shaddy keeps the position. So very good driving there. Silvers enters the pits from, I believe that was 4th position. Nick has another look into turn 1. So Silvers will enter somewhere, I believe it'll be 7th place by the looks of it, ahead of Mazdatron and Ken Worthington battle, which is good. He now has a good gap between himself and Lira to pump himself in a fastest lap of the race. Now if that's the case, again I would suggest that Schwalbe might do this at some point. Now again, it's worth the gamble. If you feel like you're not going to be passing Wheel, take the extra point when you can. He's got enough of a gap that if Luck taps pits, he's got a 20-second gap between himself and Shaddy. If Shaddy can keep Nick behind him for at least another lap or so, Schwalbe has basically a free pit stop. And if worst comes to worst, if Nick gets in front of Schwalbe, Schwalbe does have a faster compound tyre to make a difference. Now the question is, does Schwalbe take it or not? But anyway, we see Nick go around the outside of once again of Shaddy, this time making the move much more earlier. Luck taps, enters the pits once again as expected. So soft tyres for the Ferrari driver, so they will go down around about 7th position, right behind Silver's. So that elevates Nick up into the podium position, and needs to gap Shari as quickly as possible. And again, in the off chance Schwab wants to potentially pit for fastest lap of the race, Nick slowly catching the leaders up will obviously maybe hinder that idea for a second. So 15 drivers left running with only 8 laps to go. Nick is on the pace of Wheel currently. Mastertron picking up another time penalty for himself. Silver's right behind Lira now. This is obviously going to improve his chances of getting fastest lap of the race, which is currently owned by Nick, who is in 3rd place. Now obviously taking that 1 point will mean a little bit of a difference, considering Nick is 1st in the championship currently. Silver's is 3rd in the championship currently, and a 110.5 for Silver, so he currently gets the fastest lap of the race and passes Lira round the outside of turn 2. Silky sweep from the Mercedes driver, and that is 5th place for Silver's plus that extra point, so 11 points on the table for the Merc driver, but he's only 6 seconds behind Shari, so a potential I'm saying that could be a podium actually for Nick now I'm thinking about it. For Silvers, looks like 6-second gap between these two drivers, 7 laps to go. If Shari can pick up the pace, as you see Loctap's past Ken Worthington, he is on the soft tyres. Next up for him is Massatron, who's not that far up the road. Silvers might be a challenge for Nick come the end of the race if he does have the pace. We'll have to keep an eye on that. 5.3 seconds the gap between the 3rd place and 5th place, so that's going to be a very interesting battle come the end of the race. Now Mazzatron already getting hassled by Loctaps. Loctaps has made that move look easy. 7th place for him, another 3-second time penalty for himself. He's collecting them like Pokemon, but he's got himself up in 7th place. Hopefully he has enough time to gap himself from Mazzatron and maybe keep the 7th place after penalties. Now other passes, we see Boaz Noah's spin. That's very, very unfortunate. Archer picks up 3-second time penalty for himself, so Boaz Noah loses 13th there. Looks like Archer is holding on to 10th from 2 steps. 4 seconds is the difference from Steph Farrell. Is only 6 seconds back, so there might be something there coming from penalties. That's the word. Right, so anyway, gap between Silvers and Nick is 6 seconds exact, so Silvers is not gained this lap. Who is then in the pits? That is the Silver of Boaz Noise. Man drop hits the 3-second time penalty for himself. Now it looks like Nick has more or less then covered Silvers. If Silvers is not improving, that maybe says something about his position. He potentially could get the 4th or against Shari, maybe not 3rd. Schwab has closed the gap down to 4.1, but not enough for him to challenge for this lead, which is very, very unfortunate. Wheel has not gained any more time penalties, neither has Schwab, I have to mention, but Wheel has been very, very composed in this race today. So any close battles, we have Mazzatron and Ken Worthington, not too far back from each other. Steph Farrell is actually right behind 2 steps. I just realised Steph Farrell is on the soft tyres. Archer on the mediums with 4 laps to go. If these soft tyres want to stay on until the end of the race and not lose grip, Steph Farrell might be in for a chance of a 10th place. Now that only can work if they can pass the racing point of 2 steps at this lap at least. How far away is the leaders? Should check that. So the leaders are fairly close to Steph and 2 steps. That might impact the end of the race. So hopefully Steph can get a move on and possibly challenge for the last points position held by Archer, who does have some time penalties. I do believe Steph has a couple of time penalties for themselves, but I'm not sure it's as much as Archer. But we will have a look, a good pass there from Steph, making it nice and early and making it stick on the chicane. Now they'll have DRS. Looks like 2 Steps is going for a little bit of an attack back, but no DRS has made it a little bit more difficult. So Steph up into 11th place. The gap for a championship point for Steph is 3.4 seconds. Now they are on the soft tyres, a fresher soft tyres, and Archer is on the medium, so we need to check that come the end of the race. Silvers is now 2 seconds behind Shari. His man dropped pits from 14th. Silvers has actually gained half a second from Nick, so Nick has covered off Silvers by looks of for this 3rd place. So a good drive for the Red Bull runner. Steph Farrell picks up 3-second time penalty, so that may impact the end result against Archer, but 2.5 seconds the gap between the 10th for battle for 10th. We also have a battle between the 2 Mercedes, 1.3 seconds. Again, Silvers on the soft tyres. Logically speaking, you would think that Shadi would let Silvers by without any issue, but once again, we are coming to the end of the race. These things might want to change from team tactics to team competition. Any other close battles for the time being? We'll have to actually maybe have a gander at this 10th place battle. 1.5 seconds now. Steph is on a charge, and he's actually bringing 2 Steps along with him. 2 Steps only 3.1 seconds back from Archer, so they have gained a good second. As Silvers picks up a 3-second time penalty, that may be impactful against the race against Shadi. I do not know if Shadi has much time penalties. I say that, there's one. Good timing, so both Mercedes picking up 3-second time penalties for themselves. It looks like this will be a race which time penalties will impact the final results of places, especially for the battle for 4th and 5th, 10th and 11th, and by looks like I'm going to say 8th and 9th, considering Ken Worthington is keeping Mazzatron in touch. Now Steph, as Mazzatron picks up a 3-second time penalty, proving my point. It looks like Ken maybe has that 8th covered. Steph is all over the back of FSN Archer with only 2 laps to go. Come the end of this lap, which is about to start, lap 34, 2 laps to go now. So Schwab is still 4 seconds behind. No added time penalties for Real, so it looks like with 2 laps to go it's going to be Real first, Schwab second, Nick in a 3rd, and it looks like Silvers has now passed Shadi, maybe wanting to try and gap as quickly as possible just to cover Shadi in the off chance that maybe Silvers has that extra couple of time penalties. He does have the fastest lap as well, so that will be 13 points for Silvers if it stays like this. Mazzatron still kept in touch by Ken Worthington. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. And Steph Farrell, actually, we should be looking at this one. Steph Farrell, let's see what they can do with the DRS. Closing. Not enough space. A good exit says a good chance here. There has been damage to the Wall of Champions here. I do not know who that was, so that has been there since the leaders have passed. But anyway, Steph keeping it very respectful with Archer, but you can see the pace difference again as we enter the final lap of the race. So it's 2 laps to go for 2 laps to go for Archer and Steph. Steph looks like they'll be having a look again. DRS with that possibly helps, but looks like Archer has had the better exit, going very, very defensive. We'll have a look at that soon. Real is about to cross the line, but we'll stay on board with Steph for the time being. Right up to the gearbox, and it looks like Oh my god, it looks like Steph has had the better exit come the race, and that starter cam saying hello. Can they make a move in a better position than last lap? Yes, they can on the inside. It's a favourite of overtaking move for this silver runner. Now they have to gap as much as they can, make sure that Archer cannot overtake come the end of the race, as we see Wheel cross the line to win back-to-back Grand Prix and winner of Canadian Grand Prix. That's win number 3 for Wheel. He is on a title charge. Schwab on his second race picks up a good second place and another good result for the Ferrari team. As Steph Rowe picks up a 3-second time penalty. Nick crosses the line in third, a good result for him. Silvers has been overtaken by Shari, so Shari has had the better of the penalties, and Silvers has actually lost 5th place to Lira, so Lira puts himself up into 5th place. Really good job. 7th is Luptats, but we might see Mazatron put himself up there. Nope, it's 9th for him, but Ken Worthington has put himself up in 7th, passing Luptats and Mazatron by keeping it clean. Now the question is, who gets 10th place out of Steph and Archer side by side? Oh, contact by the looks of it. Oh, what's happened there at Steph? Oh, great avoidance there from 2 steps. And actually 2 steps gets the last point. 2 steps gets the last point from Archer and Steph, which unfortunately did not work out for them, as my controller disconnects at a very good point and still keeps on disconnecting. What a chaotic but brilliant race. It has to be said, one of my favourite races of the season so far, a really good contender. Now we can go through the confirmation of the results. So we have Wheel, who wins 3rd race of the season back to back, first person to do back to back. Schwab in the 2nd race of their W2W career in 2nd. Nick in 3rd place. A solid result for our championship leader, and now after Hickster's DNF, the only person to continue their now 7 race streak, the only person to score points in all races so far in the season. Shari is 4th, Lira 5th, Silvers is 6th, Ken Worthington is 7th, 8th is Luptats, Mazatron is 9th. 2 steps gets the final points of this Grand Prix. Archer 11th, Steph Farrell 12th, Jaime 13th, Mandrop 14th, Bose Noyes is 15th, DNF for Hickster, DNF for JG, DNF for EME. Your fastest lap point goes to Silvers really as well, which maybe is some consolidation considering he lost his positions to Lira and Shari. Now a great race to commentate. I didn't really know exactly what to make of this race. It would have been a hit or miss. Again, Canada is always a good one, usually, but that kind of seals the deal, as has to be so far for me the best race of the season. Now, continuing on with that, we went over from Azerbaijan. We went over to Monaco, to Canada, and we go all the way back to Europe for the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. And now again, this is going to be very similar to hopefully Canada in this regards of setup, with a lot of the slipstreams being very important here. Again, French Grand Prix is not one of my favourite tracks. Probably the same opinion goes around the other drivers in this Grand Prix, but nevertheless I can guarantee, because it's W2W racing, it will be a banger of a race. Now that is round 8. I do not know why I put round 7 there. It's obviously been a typo, I do apologise. But the next race you will be able to see live on Twitch Monday 9th September, live from 7:50pm BST. That is 8:50pm CEST. Now, if you are ever, as always, if you are ever interested in joining our W2W Racing Formula 1 League, or as of January next year, and not obviously this year, So in 3 months' time, we will have an iRacing league. If that's anything of interest to you, whether it's Formula 1 or iRacing, feel free to join us at www.discord.gg/C, lowercase r, capital J, capital W, lowercase k, capital F, and capital E. Also, as well as Twitch, we also have tier 2, as well as the tier 1 archived VODs shown on our YouTube channel. Search W2W Racing to find that and subscribe. And if you haven't, feel free to follow this Twitch channel. As always, we will be live streaming all our races on all our Formula 1 races on a Monday, same time, same place. Always catch it. Anyway, I babbled on long enough. You enjoy your evening, and I shall see you for the French Grand Prix next week. Goodbye.